The evolutionary blueprint hidden in your blood. Right now, as you're watching this, your blood is doing something remarkable. It's not just delivering oxygen or fighting infections, it's carrying a genetic signature that dates back tens of thousands of years. A signature that determined whether your ancestors survived malaria in West Africa, thrived in the agricultural revolution, or made it through a cholera outbreak in ancient Asia. Your blood type is a time capsule, and what scientists have discovered about it will completely change how you see your own biology. Let's dive in. According to the International Society of Blood Transfusion, there are over 300 distinct blood group antigens identified so far. But when we talk about blood types in everyday life, we're usually referring to the ABO and RH systems, the two most clinically significant. That gives us 8 major blood types that determine compatibility for transfusions and influence immune function in ways we're only beginning to understand. Each type tells a different evolutionary story. Some offer protection against deadly diseases, others create vulnerabilities, and a few are so rare that finding a match in an emergency becomes a race against time. We're going to explore all 8, starting with the most common and working our way to the rarest. But more importantly, we're going to uncover why these differences exist, what the science actually says, and what it means for you. O positive, the global workhorse. Let's start with O positive, the most common blood type on Earth. According to the American Red Cross, roughly 37 to 39% of people have it. That's nearly 2 out of every 4 humans. Here's what makes O positive medically critical. It can be transfused to anyone who is Rh positive. That covers about 85% of the population. So when trauma centers are overwhelmed, when disasters strike, when there's no time to cross-match, O positive is what keeps people alive. The Red Cross reports that O positive is the blood type most requested by hospitals every single day. Why is O so common? Now, here's where evolution enters the picture. A landmark study published in Nature Medicine in 2019 found that individuals with type O blood have a significantly lower risk of severe malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum. The reason? Type O red blood cells lack A and B antigens, which the malaria parasite uses to cause cells to clump together, a process called rosetting. Without those antigens, rosetting is reduced and severe malaria becomes less likely. Malaria has been one of the strongest evolutionary pressures on the human genome for at least 10,000 years. In regions where malaria is endemic, especially sub-Saharan Africa, the protective advantage of type O blood likely contributed to its prevalence. It's natural selection in action. But evolution always trades off. According to research published in JMA and the Journal of Infectious Diseases, people with type O blood are more susceptible to severe cholera and norovirus infections. The reason involves something called the H antigen, which is exposed on O blood cells but masked on A and B types. Certain pathogens, including Vibrio cholerae and norovirus, bind more effectively to the H antigen, leading to worse outcomes. There's another twist. The Journal of Thrombosis and Hemostasis has published multiple studies showing that type O individuals have lower levels of von Willebrand factor and factor VIII, both critical for blood clotting. This means O types have a reduced risk of dangerous clots like deep vein thrombosis and pulmonary embolism, but a slightly higher risk of bleeding disorders. Nature doesn't give advantages for free. Every benefit has a cost.
A positive, the blood of civilization. A positive is the second most common blood type globally, found in about 30 to 35% of people, according to Stanford Blood Center data. If you have A positive blood, your red cells carry the A antigen and the Rh factor, and you can receive transfusions from A positive, A negative, O positive, and O negative donors. That's a fairly flexible donor pool. The agricultural connection. But here's what's fascinating. Anthropological research suggests that type A blood became more common as humans transitioned from nomadic hunter-gatherers to settled agricultural societies, roughly 10,000 to 15,000 years ago. Why? A study in PLOS1 found that A antigen may enhance immune responses to certain bacterial pathogens, particularly those that spread in densely populated, lower sanitation environments typical of early farming communities. Living in close quarters with domesticated animals and other humans created new disease pressures, and type A individuals may have had an immunological edge. But there's a flip side. According to a comprehensive study published in Arteriosclerosis, Thrombosis, and Vascular Biology, individuals with non-obert types, including A positive, have a 15 to 20% higher risk of venous thrombotic embolism, blood clots in veins. The culprit? Higher baseline levels of von Willebrand factor and factor VIII. Additionally, research in BMC Medicine and Heart Journal has linked type A with a modestly increased risk of coronary heart disease and stroke compared to type O. The same clotting factors that helped type A individuals fight infections in crowded ancient villages now contribute to modern cardiovascular risks. B positive, the geographically distinct type. B positive is found in about 8 to 10% of people worldwide, but its distribution is strikingly uneven. According to data from the National Center for Biotechnology Information, NCBI, type B is most common in Central and East Asia, sometimes reaching frequencies above 25%, while remaining relatively rare in Western Europe and the Americas. This geographic clustering tells us something important. Type B likely emerged and spread along specific migration routes, possibly linked to nomadic populations moving across the Eurasian steppes thousands of years ago. This geographic clustering tells us something important. Type B likely emerged and spread along specific migration routes, possibly linked to nomadic populations moving across the Eurasian steppes thousands of years ago. Transfusion compatibility. B positive individuals can receive blood from 4 types: B positive, B negative, O positive, and O negative. That's moderate compatibility, but the lower prevalence means blood banks must work harder to maintain adequate reserves. Infection and metabolism. Research published in BMC Infectious Diseases has explored how blood type influences susceptibility to various pathogens. While the data is still emerging, studies suggest that B antigens may alter binding sites for certain bacteria and viruses, creating a different immunological profile than A or O types. There's also intriguing preliminary research, though not yet conclusive, examining whether B individuals metabolize certain nutrients differently. A study in the Journal of Nutrition hinted at variations in gut microbiome composition based on blood type, which could theoretically influence digestion and metabolism. However, the scientific community emphasizes this area needs more rigorous investigation. What's clear is that type B represents a distinct evolutionary pathway shaped by geography, migration, and unique selective pressures. AB positive, the universal recipient. AB positive is one of the rarest major blood types globally, carried by only 3 to 5% of people worldwide, according to the Red Cross. But it has a unique superpower. If you're AB positive, you can receive red cells from any donor, A, B, AB, or O, whether positive or negative. That makes AB positive the universal recipient for red cell transfusions, a significant advantage in emergencies when specific blood types aren't available. But here's what's fascinating. Anthropological research suggests that AB positive blood became more common as humans transitioned from nomadic hunter-gatherers to settled agricultural societies, roughly 1,000 to 2,500 years ago. Why?
A study in PLOS1 found that A antigen may enhance immune responses to certain bacterial pathogens, particularly those that spread in densely populated, lower sanitation environments typical of early farming communities. Living in close quarters with domesticated animals and other humans created new disease pressures, and type A individuals may have had an immunological edge. But there's a flip side. According to a comprehensive study published in Thrombosis Research and the European Heart Journal, AB individuals have the highest levels of factor VIII among all blood types, contributing to an elevated risk of thrombotic events, blood clots that can cause stroke, heart attack, or pulmonary embolism. A 2012 study in the Journal of Thrombosis and Hemostasis found that AB blood type was associated with a 20 to 30% increased risk of venous thrombotic embolism compared to type O. So while AB positive offers transfusion flexibility, it comes with cardiovascular considerations that modern medicine must monitor. O negative, the universal donor. Now we come to one of the most critical blood types in emergency medicine, O negative. Only about 6 to 7% of people have it, according to the Red Cross, but it saves a disproportionate number of lives. Why? Because O negative blood has no A, B, or Rh antigens. It can be transfused into anyone, regardless of their blood type, without causing an immune reaction. That makes it the universal donor for red cells. In trauma situations, battlefield medicine, and mass casualty events where there's no time for blood typing, O negative is the default. It's the gold standard.
The supply crisis. But here's the problem. Because only 7% of people have O negative blood, and because it's needed for emergencies across all blood types, there's a chronic shortage. The American Red Cross has repeatedly issued urgent appeals for O negative donors because demand consistently outstrips supply. Medical vulnerabilities. Despite its transfusion versatility, O negative carries the same vulnerabilities as O positive, higher susceptibility to severe cholera and norovirus, as documented in the New England Journal of Medicine, and lower clotting factor levels. There's an additional concern for O negative women. If an Rh negative mother carries an Rh positive baby, which can happen if the father is Rh positive, her immune system can produce antibodies against the baby's Rh positive red cells, a condition called hemolytic disease of the newborn. Fortunately, modern medicine prevents this with Rh immunoglobulin, RhoGAM injections, which are now standard care. But before this treatment became available in the 1960s, Rh incompatibility was a significant cause of infant mortality and morbidity. A negative, rare and restricted. A negative blood is found in only about 6% of the U.S. population and even less in other parts of the world. People with A negative can only safely receive blood from A negative and O negative donors, a very limited pool. This scarcity makes every A negative donation extremely valuable. Hospitals prioritize maintaining reserves because patients with this type can't accept alternatives. Immune and reproductive considerations. Like A positive, the A antigen likely provided immune advantages during the agricultural revolution, but the absence of the Rh factor introduces reproductive complexity. An A negative mother carrying an Rh positive baby, which can happen if the father is Rh positive, her immune system can produce antibodies against the baby's Rh positive red cells, a condition called hemolytic disease of the newborn. Fortunately, modern medicine prevents this with Rh immunoglobulin, RhoGAM injections, which are now standard care. But before this treatment became available in the 1960s, Rh incompatibility was a significant cause of infant mortality and morbidity. B negative, among the rarest. B negative is found in only about 1 to 2% of people worldwide, making it one of the rarest blood types. According to the American Red Cross, B negative donors are especially needed because the donor pool is so small. B negative individuals can only receive blood from B negative or O negative donors. In emergencies, this limitation can be life-threatening if compatible blood isn't immediately available.
Evolutionary rarity. The scarcity of B negative reflects its double rarity. Type B is already less common globally, and the absence of the Rh factor makes it even more unusual. Its geographic distribution mirrors type B's concentration in Asia, but at much lower frequencies. Studies in immunology and cell biology continue to investigate how the B antigen influences immune function, but the small population size of B negative makes large-scale research challenging. AB negative, the rarest of all. And finally, we arrive at AB negative, the rarest blood type in the world. Less than 1% of people have it. In some populations, it's closer to 0.5%. AB negative red cells can only be given to other AB negative or AB positive recipients. But here's the twist. AB negative plasma is universally compatible. It can be transfused to anyone, making AB negative donors valuable for plasma donations, even though their red cells are rare. A genetic outlier. AB negative represents the convergence of two rarities: the recent emergence of the AB type, only 1,000 to 2,500 years old, and the absence of the Rh factor, which is itself less common. It's a genetic outlier, a reminder of just how diverse human blood chemistry can be. Research published in Transfusion Journal highlights the critical need for rare blood type donors, including AB negative, because even though they represent a tiny fraction of the population, they're irreplaceable when needed. Conclusion. Your blood type isn't just a letter on a medical bracelet. It's a biological record, written in antigens and immune markers that connects you to thousands of years of human evolution, migration, disease, and survival. Whether you're O positive, keeping trauma centers running, O negative, saving lives in emergencies, or AB negative, representing one of the rarest genetic combinations on Earth, you're part of a larger story. The science is clear. Blood types influence disease susceptibility, clotting risk, transfusion compatibility, and even pregnancy outcomes. These aren't just academic curiosities. They're medical realities supported by decades of peer-reviewed research in journals like Nature, JAMA, The Lancet, and Blood. And here's what matters most. Understanding your blood type empowers you. It helps you make informed decisions about donation, understand your health risks, and appreciate the evolutionary journey that made you who you are. So if you learned something today, if you see your blood type differently now, hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started exploring the hidden science inside your own body. Thanks for watching. Now go donate blood if you can. Someone out there needs exactly what you've got.